Nasty. Host Randy Chevrier and Sheldon Napashka guide you through great stories that spark great conversations. Two really big guys talking a big game. The boys are locked in and ready to go. Welcome to The Ride.
Welcome to the Tuesday night ride with Chevy and Nasty. Sans the Nasty part of the equation. Last week I was gone. This week Sheldon is gone. We'll talk about that in a second. So our intrepid young producer, he is also the third co-host, part of this little party we call the Ride with Chevy and Nasty. Trey Smith here joining me tonight on the ride. Brought to you each week by Performance Freight Management, We Drone Real Estate Media, and YYC Business. And it looks like some of you guys are already joining us. We got Bruno, we got Daryl McVina, we got Dine and Dash Dad, and the rest of the crew coming in. Obviously, we're at a different time, 2 weeks in a row. Consensus, I think, was reached. I don't know if it was consensus.
It definitely was not, but democracy rules in this country.
Well, I don't. Was it well? What was your vote? Because I know Sheldon. 10. Well, I said sure. I said I wanted 10:30. Daryl seems to think that 10 was good. Sheldon wanted 10. Sheldon was the loudest voice for 10, and he's not even here tonight.
Yeah, but you got to think about all of our Saskatchewan fans. Poor them. It's 11:30 when it starts. When we start at 10:30 for them. So I think.
Well, I tell you what. I said this in the chat. You know, I'm a busy dad. Every second week I got my kids. I'm a busy dad, single dad. And I said, I'm going to show up. I'm going to make it when I can. And if I can't, then you got this mustached freak to my left over here on the screen. What the hell is that thing going on?
You sound like my mother and my father now. Come on.
November's over, dude. You look like 22 years old, stuffed into a 45-year-old man's lip there. And like last week I was in Mexico and I was running on the treadmill because that's about the only time I'm going to give you and Sheldon. I was running on the treadmill listening to you guys talk about AI dating and how the future is bleak. I'll tell you what, the only thing you're going to score with that thing under your lip, Tracy, is an AI bride.
Chevy.
Listen,
Chevy.
There are very few people that rock the mustache. I'm going to tell you who they are. It's Stu Laird, Lanny McDonald, and the list is very short after that. Two legendary Calgary athletes, very, very famous people. But
hey, look at this. We
got Lonnie joining us. Lonnie is a longtime fan.
Appreciate it, Lonnie.
He listens. Well, listen. I don't know, Lonnie. Does porn star slick mean it's good, or is it like he's not even raised? Listen. I get it if it's Movember. You raise in Movember, you know, some guys choose to raise some funds for men's health, testicular cancer, prostate cancer. That's near and dear to our heart. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember during the month of November once you mentioning that you were growing this for like this is your own personal pet that you're growing. And I'm telling you, man.
I grew it for Movember, and so did the rest of the golf team.
Well, now it's done. No, November's done. If you want to score, if you want to have a little kiss under the mistletoe in the next couple of weeks, I guarantee you that. Listen, I don't know if we have any ladies listening in tonight. Maybe there might be one or two.
My mom probably. My mom hates it. So
yeah. So well, listen. I tell you what. I'm going to say something that I don't know if it's. Well, my kids aren't here. I'm going to say this. Listen, man. I love. Relations. And I'll tell you what, I can't go a whole month without relations. And if a mustache is gonna prevent relations, which I think it would, I'm not growing a mustache anymore. Like I used to be very avid into the Movember thing until I started dating. And I don't grow a mustache. I repost the posts. I do the Facebook. I could raise the same amount of money. I just don't need a mustache to do it. And I'm okay with it. Because
I think it must be a generational thing because I've had a lot of ladies comment on it saying they like it. So
well, yeah, you know what? Even my son has a gross mustache, and he has that weird thing growing out. You know, like you guys, you and my son are very similar aged. You're what, 22? You're 22?
21.
21. My son's 19. You have like that hair that's growing out of your face. That's not really man hair, but it's not kid hair.
No.
It's like
Yes. Right in between.
Yeah, it's like
And it's
right
kind
now.
of terrible.
It's like right now I have gray beard hairs and black beard hairs. Like I'm in the later phase of my life. I'm a him. You're trying to be a him, and that mustache, like some days it makes you look like a kid that's trying too hard, and some days it's gonna make you look like a crazy, guy that's gonna go and maybe go do something stupid at a university assembly. But if that's what the ladies are going for these days, then go on. Because I'll take it all back. I'll take it all back, Trey, if it gets you in with the ladies. Is it getting you in with the ladies, or are we going to see you are we going to your AI wedding date? Like
I promise you there is no AI in my future. Okay. I do like a woman.
Did you? Oh, you like a woman? Okay, good. Well, okay. That's.
I like women in general.
Did you ask ChatGTP to talk about your like a little bit of mustache tips?
No, hell no. Nope. Not asking AI for any relationship help because it's going to try and ask to marry me. I'm scared now.
Who's it says Hardy gets chicks. Yeah, you know what, Daryl? This is the thing. Country music stars got something that Trey doesn't have right now. They got cowboy hats. Not the money. They got guitars. Ask Sheldon. Sheldon talked about it last week. You don't need anything special. If you could play the guitar, you're doing pretty good. And if you can play the guitar in front of a crowd and get people singing your songs, so country stars have that going for them. Athletes have the athlete thing going for them. Trey, you got to put everything in your corner. And again, I'll take back everything I said. That if your generation seems to think that stash is good, then rock it as long as you can. But I'm just letting you know, my generation and the generation just under me, because I'm going out with someone that's a generation just under me, they hate the mustache. They like the beard. Yeah. The beard is good. They hate the stash. So if I were to suggest something, I would try the little, I wish I could draw on the screen. I would do like the soul patch, like I used to do that with the little pointy. I think you would look good. You would look like a French pirate with a French pirate producer.
I can't grow a soul patch really. Like that's the one spot where I don't really grow any hair.
You gotta shave upwards.
I can grow some really mean lamb chops if you want, but
you gotta get like a blade, and you gotta grow upwards so that it starts coming in thick. Like when your hair is on your face is rough enough that you can like sandpaper on your hands on day one. That's when you know you're becoming a man. Okay. But until that point, if you could shave and it's a few days, you still have baby fresh skin. Yeah. Dine and Dash Dad's killing you. He's killing you.
You guys are just
well, you know what? I'll move from killing you. I'll move from killing you to killing Sheldon. The shots are being fired because you know what? We'll get into it later, but I heard some shots fired last week at me. So you know what? Sheldon laying in bed. Because he's not in Mexico and he's not doing anything exciting. He's got the man cold. He literally texted us. The first thing he says is, I prefer the show to be at 10 o'clock. Oh, and by the way, I've been sick in bed all day, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. And then he now, is there a guy that we know that has more man colds than Sheldon? Like how many man colds has he reported in the last 12 months? 12?
Yeah, he's probably due for one every month. So yeah, I would say about 12.
Now, what do we call that? Because I mean, there's a species or a gender that has like a sickness. That's not a sickness, but has something happen every month regularly. And I mean, Sheldon gets it.
Towing the line, Chevy. You're towing the line.
I'm towing the line. I always toe the line because people like Daryl like to listen to the show with Lincoln in the car, and I'll let you guys do all this shit. There's a guy on our thing called Dick Slayer. Holy, this guy came in from nowhere. Yeah, and he's got
of my friends.
He's got some
burner account.
Yeah, there's a burner account. There's someone that's someone with a stash that doesn't want to admit who he is. Yeah, but Nasty's at home. He's got the man cold. But I feel like I've heard him. I heard him use the man cold line, and because he doesn't use the text chat very much like you and I do. So the few times I feel like that man cold has come in pretty regularly. Maybe Amanda's listening tonight, unless she's, you know what? Amanda normally listens to the show, and Amanda is Sheldon's wonderful wife. And I know you know what, Amanda? Sheldon gave you so much props last week. He talked about the first
That
time
was a
he
great
saw
story.
you. That was a great
great
story.
Yeah.
Seeing Amanda, well, no, Sheldon talking about seeing Amanda in the bikini and the beer, and he bought some beer to go. I thought that was a great story how they met. And you know, I know she's a great listener to the show, and I'm sure she's doing a fantastic job taking care of poor little Sheldon, wrapped up in the covers with his monthly man cold that he's getting. Even Trey's throwing it on. Well, listen, this show is our 103rd episode, and I don't know, we're gonna try and keep this at 10 o'clock. It appears that we get more listeners, including the Dick Slayer. I mean, we can't have a show without the Dick Slayer. I'm just gonna say that. Dick Slayer, welcome to the ride. I love the burner account. But we do have fun here. We talk, and I jest with you, Trey. I digest with Sheldon. You know, I know getting sick's no joke. I mean, I had a migraine. I usually get them on Tuesdays. I had a nasty one last night that you know, because of the weather we've been having and obviously adjusting back to it, I thought I was going downhill today. But in fact, once the snow hit, my brain cleared. So, and then I was able to throw all the barbs, write the poems, and do all that stuff. So speaking of the poem, Trey, shall we hit the splitter? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And now, 300-pound poetry with Chevy and Nasty.
Another Tuesday night ride, another 10 p.m. start. Sheldon's been taken out by the man cold like that hit on Jackson Dart. Did you see that?
I did. Chevy is back from the beach and his sun-kissed vacation. He took a lot of selfies. We think he has a fixation.
Geez, you too. Hofnagel onto Toronto, no longer with the Stamps. He built the franchise into a constant contender and turned them into champs.
And the NFL, so unpredictable. Every week, a favorite gets tossed. But the Bears are looking good as the Philly Eagles lost.
Like Kyle Palmieri of the Islanders, sometimes you make plays hurt. It takes grit to be a pro. You just gotta rub a little dirt.
And as the snow falls in Calgary, we slip and we slide. Somehow we'll keep from crashing here on the ride.
Yeah, we'll try to keep from crashing. And too, Brute, you too, throwing the jabs about the selfies. I mean, here I am in Mexico. I'm enjoying the sun. Look at me tonight. I'm wearing a tank top.
Yeah, you look like you just came off the plane.
I look like Tony Montana mixed with Razor Ramon. I'm having a good time with my girlfriend. I'm I feel. I mean, I gave up sugar for like 4 months to get this beach vacation so I could get the beach bod and look good. And yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to take some pics. And then I'm listening. Before I listen to the ride, I listen to my two buddies, my good friend Rubio, who's got a great show that you should listen to. He's usually live on Tuesdays, a little bit before us, and then joins us on the show. Nasty was the guest on the Rubio episode. You guys can catch it. He's on Spotify and YouTube and all that. And here I am. I'm listening, and then all of a sudden, I had sent them a picture earlier in the day because I thought it was funny, and we could show it later. And then I'm listening to these two jerks, and next thing you know, they're making fun of me. And I'm like, now you too? Like, come on. Oh, you got it here?
Listen. Yeah, let's take a listen.
Yeah, let's hear what they got to say.
Picture to Nasty and I, and I'm not going to share it, even though Jenna begged me to show it to her, because even though Chevy does look good, no man should be wearing shorts that small unless their name is Sven and they're from Norway or something like that. Am I wrong on that one, Nasty?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. But not only that, I've got a feeling that if we follow him on his socials, we're going to be seeing that stuff on Instagram over the next couple of days. I have never known a man to post his. Oh, there he is. I've never known a man to post as many pictures of himself as Randy Chevy. I love it. Like, he's living a blessed life, charmed life. He says, "I just want to be connected with everybody all the time," right? But
God love him. He's such a nice.
But the medium shorts, I think,
he sent us a picture.
Okay. Listen, first of all, folks, so you know, I was on the beach and I had two bathing suits there the whole time I was there. And on the Wednesday, Brittany and we went to Playa del Carmen. We came back and we were going to the pool. And last year for Valentine, she bought me a pair of underwears that I actually was going to buy, thinking it was funny. And then she bought it because she thought it was funny. And basically, it's a pair of underwears with her face on it and hearts. And I was like, she because I had brought it as a surprise to her and she was dying of laughter when I packed those in, because she didn't think in a million years I would bring them. And she's like, I dare you to wear them to the pool. I'm like, oh, don't dare me to wear them to the pool. I'll wear them to the pool. So I wore these shorts to the pool. I sent you the picture, put it up there. It's the picture there on the right. It's kind of tiny. I thought you would have had that nice and big if you had the one of just me. But yeah, if you zoom in there, there's a picture of me and Brittany on the pool on the right there. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that, you won't see it. But basically, I'm wearing a pair of tight underwears over another pair of underwears, because you don't wear underwears with white backing. That's just wrong. I don't know why they make those, but and I'm wearing them at the pool. And I got a picture in them. And yes, I took a bunch of pictures, but there was also pictures with clothes on. I just, it's not my fault that Rubio and Sheldon and now Trey just only focus on the pictures of me in my bathing suit. I mean, it's just what it is, guys. Like, what's the problem?
I did do you a little justice and took a couple pictures with you in clothes, but
no, thanks.
What are we doing here, Chevy?
But listen, I'm going to tell you, first of all, okay, it was a total joke because my girlfriend thinks that I won't do stupid things, which I will. When I went up to the bar, one dude, and there's so many people from Canada at this resort. It was all from Alberta. There's literally everybody from Alberta at this resort. One dude's like, bro, is that your wife on your shorts? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all he did was just pick up the fist, give me the fist bump. He's like, bro, that's the best thing I've seen. So it was actually a sweet move. It worked good. I got some real credibility at the pool with all the drunk Albertans, and so I was in.
You sound like me trying to justify the mustache right now.
Yeah, except my shorts might have had a little bulge in it. You can't tell much from the mustache. You don't know what's lurking under in there. But I gotta tell you, like, in all seriousness, it was well, in all seriousness, I did not miss you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't miss you guys, but I did listen to the show, and then I missed you for a minute because I was laughing at everything. I actually thought you and Sheldon did a fantastic job, but no matter how fun your show was, there's nothing that competes with getting away for a much needed like R&R. And I don't know if you're an all-inclusive, guys. This is only like the second time I've been with Brittany to an all-inclusive, the fourth time in my life. And so the first two times I've ever been to an all-inclusive, I was playing football, and I went during my off season. And when you're in your off season football, like, I worked, but I chose to work. And then days that I didn't have to work, I didn't work. I was substitute teaching. So if there's days like, oh, I'm tired, I got the man cold like Sheldon, I just lay in bed all day because I had 6 months I was playing football. It wasn't until a couple of years ago when I went with Brittany for the first time where I work. Now I work I work a 7 to 5 job. I work for the weekends. My evenings are like jammed and you feel the grind after a while. And I only have now I have 4 weeks holidays, but I had 3 weeks holidays at the time. And I went to an all-inclusive a few years ago. I was like, holy crap. Now I know why people love these things. Like, I didn't realize it before until I realized a couple of years ago. And then this year was a real stressful year for me at work. We were short an officer. I was picking up a lot of work. At home, I had a lot of stuff going on, and it was just, with the strike and everything, especially, and Brittany too. And we have that distance relationship for the most days we ever see each other in a row is like 3 days, if we're lucky. That came at the right time, and it was perfect. Like, we didn't do crazy stuff. We woke up in the morning. I mean, I had to wake up. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
You had to wake up early, I saw.
Yeah, show my little sunrise. At least I sent you a beautiful sunrise. Show the sunrise I sent you. Do you have that one?
No, I don't. That's the
dude.
You sent it to me 5 minutes before the show. Everything was already in place.
I told you I was coming in hot. But anyhow, I had to wake up. So, like, I wasn't super comfortable in the bed. So I'm waking up like 3-4 times a night. And at 5:15 or 5:45 in the morning for my third pee of the night, because I am almost 50. I wake up and it's like, well, shoot, it's 5:45 in the morning. I got to go fight the old ladies and the husbands that they sent to go get the chairs. So I get up, I throw my shorts on, and I walk to the pool, and I reserve 2 chairs. Then I go down to the beach, and I reserve 2 chairs. And then I'm sitting there because I don't want anyone to steal my chairs. I have like a bag, I have books, like I have stuff to make it look like I am there. Because obviously I'm going to go back to the room and get some coffee and go have breakfast. But anyhow, I had to reserve the chairs. That's the only thing I didn't like about it, was waking up early. Like if I didn't have to wake up to pee like 4 times a night, then maybe I would have been really upset that I had to wake up early just to get the towels. But it was kind of like I was up anyways. I was a little groggy. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can make it to the pool on a nice quiet walk. Reserve the chairs. So we had chairs for the day because there are no chairs. Like if you don't get chairs,
That's crazy.
not
How
like
is there no chairs on a resort?
it's like they created this like scarcity model. It was like the Hunger Games. Like if you don't get a chair, like someone kills you. Like
That's
you
insane.
die.
And nobody steals the chair from you when you leave your stuff there.
You got to sit there for a little bit because if security comes before the sun rises and sees people towels, they just dump the shit off. But so you got to kind of look like you're there. So I basically, from about 6 to 7 o'clock, you're sitting in the dark, you know, waiting around. Then the sun rises. And then once the sun rises and then you have stuff on the chair, it's not too bad. So that's kind of the game I had to play every day. But yeah, it was super cool because it was restful. All we did was I woke up, I got the chairs, we went back, we had a coffee at the pool, then we went to work out. Then we had breakfast, then we went to the beach, then we went for lunch, then we went to the pool or the beach, whatever we chose, then got ready for some nice dinners. And then after dinners, I was finished. And like, I'm not going to lie, like it was Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So at 8 o'clock Eastern, I was toast. I was in bed by 9 o'clock Eastern, which means that was 7 o'clock this time, but it came at the right time in life and the food was good and everything was good. And I can't recommend more an all-inclusive, and it wasn't super expensive. Like you're looking at about, I think it was about $1,300 per person. Plus we had to pay for the transfer. And I got screwed at the airport. We bought 2 margaritas when we landed and I was like, oh yeah, margarita. Let's have margarita. We're waiting for a it was $86 US.
Yeah.
Mexico's supposed to be cheap. We got 2 margaritas. We
did the same thing.
So stupid. Like 1,400 pesos. Oh, how much is that American? $86, my friend. I was like, are you kidding me? And I had already paid. I was like, Jesus. So the first 2 days, I couldn't stop. Like, I'm a bit of a cheap tight ass. Like, I don't mind spending money and feeling like I get value. Like, but if I'm feeling like I'm getting screwed, I have a hard time with that. It took me 2 days to get over those stupid airport margaritas. And I told Brittany, I said, listen, there's going to be a point where I drink enough margaritas that those ones that we bought at the airport are going to feel like I got them for free, but I'm not there yet. By day 3, I'll be there. So, but yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Hi, Ernie. And hi, Diane. We're here at 10 o'clock for you, but you joined us at 10:30. Guess what? Sheldon is not here. You know what? Want to know where Sheldon is? He's going to make cold, sleeping in his bed. Anyhow, but we hope Sheldon is happy and back. But yeah, anything else you want to know about Mexico before we go for a break? Because I do all the talking. I know.
So I think we're going to Cancun as well. Oh, I don't think I know we're going to Cancun as well.
Who's going? Who's the we?
My family over
Nice.
Christmas. So I think I'll be able to share some of my
you better
experiences because we're going all exclusive as well. But I want to know what's the best thing you ate on the resort.
You know what? Like, so the food was good. Like, and you know, sometimes they say, you know, the mass produced, the buffets, like it wasn't like a super high class resort. Like the entertainment was like, there was nothing that I missed that I felt like, oh man, if I go to bed early, I'm going to miss that. Like, and that was good. I needed that because I'm like an ADD brain, as you could tell. If there's too many things going on, I want to do it all. And then I don't wind up doing anything. And then I wind up feeling like I missed out. But at that resort, for me, it was beach, pool, workout, food. I didn't really care about the entertainment. It wasn't the greatest anyways. So I didn't feel like I was missing out because I was so tired. But the food was really good. And when I think of what I liked the best, I really love the coffee in Mexico. The coffee, like I could have 100 coffees. We went, so they had like 4 restaurants at this resort that you could reserve. I guess, of course, the Mexican restaurant was amazing, but I also like the Italian restaurant. At the Italian restaurant, I had lamb rack, and it was so good. And they had the best salad bar at the Italian restaurant of all the spot because they had like prosciutto, the cheese. Like they had like it wasn't just salads; it had meats, and it was awesome. I got to tell you, everything was amazing. There's not one thing that we had there that I didn't like. And it was good, man. So
Good.
you're gonna love when you go. Where are you staying in Cancun? Do you know where you're going exactly?
No, I don't know the name of the resort, but it's the same sort of deal, like all exclusive resort in Cancun. So
well,
should be
I'm gonna
pretty
give you
cool.
I'm gonna give you one piece of advice before you go on. Pack sunscreen and shave that mustache, because if you don't shave that stupid mustache, they're not gonna let you in the country, man. They don't let child predators out of the country.
Please.
Listen, let's take a break, Trey. We'll talk about more serious stuff when we get back. Guys, you know where to find us. We're on the ride every week at Chevy and Nasty on all your socials and all those platforms where you can get the podcast. I'm Chevy. He's Trey Smith. Nasty is not feeling well today, so we're doing the show without him. We're having a good time. We hope you are too. Take a quick break, and then we'll see you when we get back.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back to the ride. I'm Chevy. He's Trey Smith. You got to get a little bit better lighting, buddy. It seems like you can become more regular on this show. For those of you just joining us,
Got no lights.
you got no lights. For those of you just joining us, Nasty is not in Mexico, but he's not feeling well. So Trey's taking over. He's doing a great job. All of you guys there, joining us tonight. We're having a great time, and thanks for being there. Just gonna shout out to some of you guys that are always here. We got Rob Evans in the house, Jamin Dahmer. I'm forever known as Sven from now on, according to Jamin, and I guess that's the ode to Rubio and Sheldon's conversation last week. Bruno thinks I'm on fire. That's because I got a sunburn. I didn't like coming back to Calgary. I got back on Thursday night, Trey, in the middle of a snowstorm. Like, I don't know if there's a better time to leave or if there's a better way to appreciate your vacation than that. Like, and I was in the right bubble of weather. We'll move on from vacation, but just to say, it was raining the week before we got there. I was worried it was going to rain the week I was there. It was fine. Maybe a little bit of droplets 1 or 2 days. The last day we were there at about 2 p.m., we were leaving at 4:45 from the resort. About 2 p.m., there was like a monsoon rain that came down. I was like, holy crap. Like, there was people coming in that, and they would have been just so disappointed. And then I thought it was all good. I had no clue about this snowstorm that was hitting that night in Calgary. My boys picked me up in their car. So thanks to Luke and Brett for saving me a couple of bucks on the Uber. And holy crap, I wasn't ready for that snow. I was not ready for that snow. I wanted to turn right back around and get back to Mexico.
Yeah, it's I think it's snowing right now, so it doesn't look like it's gonna let up anytime soon. But I think I like it when it's snowing when I'm already there, and then I can like text my friends and be like, "Ha, suckers."
Yeah,
I'm
fair enough.
looking
Well, I know
in
there was that.
shorts and looking at the sun.
there was that snowfall on Tuesday because I saw on Instagram. I think I had a little bit of Wi-Fi there, and I saw on Instagram there was that snowfall on Tuesday where there was like a cement truck in Calgary that like crashed, and then like 14 cars kept sliding into one another after. Did you see that reel on Instagram? I think it was in not Bridgeland, Bridlewood. There was a cement truck that kind of stopped at a stop sign, and there was one car that hit it, then another one that hit it, and another one. It was like oh yeah, it was bad. Like that first snowfall is
doesn't
terrible,
shock
right?
me. Everybody forgets how to drive the first snowfall. So
yeah, well, you guys didn't forget how to drive. You all joined us on the ride. We also got Regan Kohlberg's there. We got Kurt Panyo. We got lots of, you know what? It's really nice to see all of you. Maybe I could get used to this 10 a.m. I mean, none of you have a cool name such as Dick Slayer 7677, but sure. You know, you guys got to come up with some better. I mean, I'm Chevy. We got to come up with one for you. Trey, you know what? I'm gonna come up with a nickname for you because we got Nasty, we got Chevy. We're gonna get one for you. You're gonna have a nickname by the end of the night. I want to hear your best nicknames for Trey. While you guys are thinking of some, like I like the Trey Pod. The Trey Pod is not too bad. Something to reference his mustache. And then he's got to keep it forever. Then he like
that it's just like a pet,
or the Trey Pedo.
Oh, let's not do that.
No,
come on.
No, I know. I meant like the torpedo. I didn't think. See where your mind went? I was thinking like, you know, the swimmer.
I thought you were poking more fun of me.
No, I was thinking like I was thinking like a torpedo. And you thought torpedo. Trey, I think that one sticks. The Trey Pedo.
Not doing that. No, I'm putting it.
Okay,
that's getting cut out of the Spotify.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the Trey. Okay, guys, come up with some good nicknames. Listen, let's talk about something that's not just about our stupidity. This week we saw probably what's being hailed as one of the greatest plays. I don't know if
ever.
It's sport. It was sport. Was it one of the greatest? I mean, it was one of the greatest plays. You know what?
So good.
What made it so good was it was so casual. Like there was literally zero effort. And so we're talking about Kyle Palmieri of the New York Islanders. Who were they playing against? It wasn't the Hurricanes.
I have the video.
Yeah, so we're going to play the video in a second. But basically, for those of you listening in and not watching, Kyle Palmieri, New York Islanders, I think it was against the Flyers, actually. Goes hard into the boards, tears his ACL. And as he gets up, I guess the Flyers are taking it up ice, but somehow one of their players carries it back into the ice, which I guess, don't put it just yet. I'm assuming it negates. And he gets up and casually lifts the puck off the guy, throws in for an assist. So let's throw it up here. Can you put it on full screen?
I think so, yeah.
Drysdale back. No. Give it up at the red line. Drysdale back after it. Palmieri trying to track it down. Big collision. They both go forward.
Goes down
Palmieri's
there.
hurt. That didn't look good. Palmieri is in a ton of pain back behind the play.
They're going to have to blow it down here. Moving a little better his palms.
He's going to strip it away there. Sets up Drouin. Heidemann scores! How about that? An assist for Kyle Palmieri as he goes off the ice. Give it up at the red line.
Yeah, and straight to the dressing room, right? And I mean, the beauty of that play is it took a lot of things for it to happen. I mean, one, he got hurt and he had to get up, which he did, and skating gingerly back as the play is going the other way. But if that Flyers defenseman doesn't bring it back into his own zone, there's no chance for that play to succeed because if the Islanders are carrying it in, it's offside. So he's just there, casually lifts the stick, slaps it off to Drouin, and in for the goal. So, I mean, one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Like just for an injured guy, and it begs the question: have we seen anything like that before? Have you seen anything like that before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a big golf fan, as you guys know, and I still think the greatest thing ever in sports is Tiger Woods winning a U.S. Open on a broken leg and a torn ACL.
Torn ACL, and a torn ACL is no joke. I've torn my MCL in a game, and I finished the game. That's not fun, but an ACL, that one controls a lot of your movement.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there's a Tiger Woods documentary on Netflix, and it's really good. His caddy was talking at the time that I can't remember what round, second or third round. He was like on some concrete, like a cart path, and his caddy was like, "I don't think you should be hitting the shot. Like he's limping everywhere and barely scraping it by." And he just looks over at his caddy and says, "Steve, screw you. I'm winning this golf tournament." And then he hit the shot on the green and made the putt for birdie, and then ends up winning the tournament. He actually had to play an extra round because it went to a playoff.
Yeah.
Onto Monday, and so he played 90 holes of golf on a torn ACL and a broken leg. And I still think, I mean, nobody's gonna ever attempt that nowadays, but that's the greatest thing, gutsiest thing I've ever seen in sports for sure.
Yeah, I think that's very gutsy. I mean, the one Michael Jordan there you got there, that's a huge one, right? Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan, I think he had the flu, goes into a playoff game, and he gets, was it 35 points?
Yeah, something like.
Yeah, 35 points. That's big. The girl, Carrie Strung, yes. She had the vault at the Olympics, and I think she secured, was it a gold medal she got after that? And she had she landed the vault on a broken ankle,
torn ligament in her ankle.
Yeah, there was
10 and a 10.
In football. There was Willis McGahee. I think he was in the Fiesta Bowl, a big NFL running back, but he played for University of Miami. He had, there it is, Fiesta Bowl. He tore everything in his leg in that game. I think it was more because he came back. But yeah, that Palmieri thing, I'm trying to think if there's anything that's, again, when I think about
Kirk Gibson, that's a good one.
Yeah. Kirk Gibson's a good one. I mean, Steve Stamkos returned to the Stanley Cup Finals, and he had some kind of lower body injury.
Yeah, he only played the one game. I think he scored in that game too.
Yeah. Was it tearing his ACL and Rob Gronkowski? But these are guys who returned from injury. I'll tell you what, for me personally, I know when you're injured, it can be tough. It can be tough. There's a one game against Toronto where I tore I remember this. This was nuts. Like, we had punted to Toronto, and Arlen Bruce III picked up the ball, and I'm running down the field, and I go to tackle him, and he's going to my right side, so I kind of reach out, but he's going fast enough that I held on to him, but my leg swung around, and I hit with my knee. I hit the Toronto Argonaut, another blocker on the punt return team, and my knee just opened up. And I tore my MCL right there. I could tell right away, like, it was done. And I walk back to the bench, and I'm hobbling, like, really bad. And I'm like, guys, like, it's bad. And they're trying to assess me right then and there. And the very next play, our defense gets an interception for a touchdown. Very next play. And here I am. I got a snap on the field goal. And I just remember taking a roll of tape. I taped it right around my leg, just taped it up. Went out, snapped the field goal, and then they got me a brace to finish the game. And I never missed a game that season. And I played that year on a torn MCL. And then the other thing I remember, but this was in practice, I broke my thumb. And same thing, I had to wear a cast all year, and I was still snapping the ball. And I had a cast for my thumb that I would use when I was snapping, and then a cast that went over it so I could play D-line. And that was when I played lots of D-line, and Sheldon and I played together. But the big one for me was the time that I tore my MCL, and I was like, okay, I just need to catch my breath for a sec. Come on. And then all of a sudden, interception, touchdown. I'm like, Chef, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I ran out there and with a whole roll of tape around my leg. But yeah, playing hurt is part of the game. And you always see that. Like, that's the thing. Like, that one was very evident. But how many times do we see in the NHL, right when the season ends, for a team, either they get eliminated or they win the cup, and then you hear of the injuries that guys were playing on, like, especially in the NHL, it's pretty nuts. Like in football, when a guy gets hurt, he's done. He's typically done. There's very few guys that are playing super hurt. Like, is there a quarterback that that might have played like on Mahomes always looks like he's hurt, but he always seems to pull off some magic. But I can't remember too many quarterbacks. The ribs, right? That a lot of guys got the ribs all the time.
There's a video of Stafford I saw the other day back when he was playing in Detroit, and they were going on a game-winning drive, and he got absolutely plowed on the second last play of the game and dislocated his left shoulder. And they were like down to the 10-yard line or whatever, and he's on the sideline like crying and whatever, saying it's out. And he's like, I can throw the ball, like I can do it. And then he goes out and throws a game-winning touchdown pass, and he's like walking to the sideline, and his teammates are trying to like surround him and whatever. He's like, get away from me, like shoulders out. And I think probably Stafford's probably dealing with something right now too. He's an old man, but that's a video I saw the other day, and what a gutsy player he is.
Yeah, he sure is gutsy. I mean, Tom Brady, he's got a lot of injuries. One I have to say that I think is super impressive, and it's not like a gutsy performance, but everyone, I said it last year, I wasn't a big fan of New York Jets Aaron Rodgers, but Pittsburgh Steelers Aaron Rodgers I can get behind a bit more. But it was pretty fascinating that guy at his age tore his Achilles and came back the next year and played. I mean, he didn't have the greatest season with the Jets last year, but considering he was coming off an ACL or an Achilles, that's pretty damn impressive. And you think of the first guy to do stuff like that, Adrian Peterson, one of the greatest running backs in the NFL. I mean, he tore his Achilles in a time where you didn't come back from that injury. There was a time when Achilles, you're done, you get it done, especially at the running back position. Quarterback, if you got a great arm, and let's say you're not a super mobile guy, might not affect you as much. But a running back, you used to lose your Achilles. So even like Adrian Peterson, that's a big deal.
I think also the Aaron Rodgers. This was back in his Green Bay days when he was playing a Sunday night game against Chicago, and he took a hit. I can't remember if it was to his knee or something. And he goes back into the blue tent and whatever. He comes back out, and they did a post-game interview with him after he'd won the game, and he was clearly out of it, like on something for sure. And they were kept asking about it, and he kept it under wraps, whatever. And then I remember he was on the Joe Rogan podcast a year or two ago, and Joe asked him if he ever played football on anything, and he's like, oh yeah, that game against Chicago, I took so much Vicodin, like completely out of it. So I guess that's what goes on in the blue tent for all these guys.
Well, you know what, there's another one that is pretty impressive, and that was Terrell Owens. He had I believe broke his fibula and I think he tore one of his knee ligaments, and he came back and played in the Super Bowl. I think he caught 9 balls for 122 yards. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but that's pretty gritty to have come back from a broken fibula. He's a receiver. He's not a guy that doesn't need his legs, right? So if you look,
Daniel Jones played last week with a cracked fibula, so it is playable.
Yeah. Now you weren't alive. You weren't alive during this time, but Ronnie Lott. If you ever heard of Ronnie Lott, one of the great safeties back in the day, defensive back, he chose to have his finger amputated in order to play in a 1985 wild card game. So he had his, and also actually there was a long snapper for BC Lions, Jordan Matichuk. He chose to have his finger amputated so he could play the season. Jordan Matichuk is an interesting dude, but
Jason Pierre-Paul too. You remember him with the fireworks?
He blew his hands off.
Yeah, he played like an extra couple years after that with like 2 fingers on his hand.
Yeah. What about tight end buddy from Cleveland? The guy that blew up in his face.
Njoku.
Yeah, Njoku. Didn't he have his burn his face off?
Yeah, he burnt his face. Yeah.
And he was playing with the
mask on or something.
Yeah, the burn garments. And those things are no joke. Those have to be like changed, and it hurt. Like, I mean, I do the work with the Burn Treatment Society. When you have a burn injury, like skin grafts and all that stuff, that ain't no joke. To play with that and get hit in the face. Whoo. But there's a lot of playing, as we said in the poem, to play at any level. You wind up slowly building that tolerance for pain. I think it starts at a young age, kids playing hockey and football, which kids can take it, which kids can't. And it's hard because as a coach, you don't want to tell a kid, hey, listen, you got to play hurt or whatever. But a lot of times, depending on the kid and their level of desire and their level of want to, sometimes you got to have the talk with them. At some point in the kid's development, a good coach will have the talk with them and say, you got to understand the difference between this hurts or this is an injury.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids, a lot of athletes don't ever understand that. And that's what becomes a limiting factor into development, because every time they're hurting, they think they're injured, and then they don't play. And it's kind of like the more reps you put in, the better you get. The more reps you take off, the more people pass you by. So every time you think that you're injured and you're just hurt and you don't play through something that maybe you could, some other kid is getting the reps. And over time, that's an accumulation, right? And so if you keep thinking that you're injured every time you're hurt, you're going to rep yourself out of the game. And then, once you get to the pros, the flip side is on the pros, you play injured, you play hurt, and you don't know the difference anymore. And I think, my career, there was a lot of times where I probably should have had a surgery. I probably should have sat out. And we're talking not just like orthopedic injuries, we're talking about concussions and all that. And by the time you're a pro, and it's your job, there's an extra added pressure. It's not just for the fun of the game. Like you're playing for your paycheck, you're playing for your food on your table. It becomes a bigger deal to play when maybe you shouldn't. And, when you talk about NFL, NHL, where the stakes are so high for a lot of those guys, it's tough. It's tough to not play when you're injured. So sometimes the coaches and the staff have to make choices in the blue tent, as you said. So, but that Kyle Palmieri play was pretty interesting. Trey, did you see the news? It came out today, I think it was, maybe on the weekend. Local news. John Hufnagel, my former head coach, general manager, president, the Calgary Stampeders. I saw today on the Third Down Nation is off to Toronto to accept a senior advisory role.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. But let's dig into this. Hufnagel leaving Calgary, is that a big deal to you? Like, you're a younger guy. I don't know how much of the Hufnagel era you attach yourself to. Where do you sit with this one, first of all?
I remember a little bit of Hufnagel, like when I was a little younger. Cornish and Drew Tate and Bud Levi.
Okay,
but so I don't remember like
era.
Yeah. That's probably the earliest memories I have of him. And then after he hasn't been the coach for 7-8 years now. I don't know how long he's been there, but it's been a while. So.
Well,
I guess. This. Like, he's a legend, obviously, in Calgary. But like at this age, what does a senior advisor role even do for the Argonauts? Like they have their guys now. They hired their coach today, Mike Miller. So.
Well, yeah. Like before we go to his role in Toronto, let's look back at his time in Calgary. Now I was there for his return to Calgary in 2008. I was brought to Calgary by Coach Tom Higgins, who was my coach in Edmonton, and we went to a couple Grey Cups together. He had, I guess, as observers would say, probably moderate success with the Stampeders. Before he got there, their record was, I think it was 4-11 or 4-12 back in those days. And he brought the Stamps to respectability. But in the 3 years that he coached, we weren't able to get over the hump. Had a lot of early playoff exits and disappointments. And Hufnagel was brought in and instantly put his stamp on the organization. Huff was a different sort of coach than Tom Higgins. If I could say, complete polar opposite. If I could say one was more Pete Carroll and one was more Bill Belichick, if I could make the NFL allusion to kind of, without getting into detail. And Huff immediately put his stamp on the organization. And in short order, we won the Grey Cup with him. We won in 2008. We won in 2014. We also went in 2012. I think that's when you started tuning in. But over his time as a head coach, 8 seasons, a head coach and GM, 102 wins, 41 losses, and 1 tie. So 2 Grey Cups and 2 Coach of the Year's awards. So he was a success. And the way we could sum it up is, for all his years as the coach and GM of the Stampeders, they were the team to beat.
Yep.
We were every team's biggest rivalry. Like everyone says, who's your biggest rival? We don't know, because everyone got up to play against everyone. But we were everyone's barometer for success for at least the 5 years and into the 3 years beyond I was there with him. That's or six was I 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 I was there. And we were the barometer for success. At least 6 years I was there and beyond, right? A good string of quarterbacks from Henry Burris, like you mentioned, Drew Tate, Kevin Glenn, Bo Levi Mitchell, and they seemed to have success. And then the wheels came off a little bit. Bo got hurt. A couple of guys retired. A lot of guys left for free agency. You know, when Charleston Hughes, Sean Lemon, DeGarrett Davis, the receiver there. Who's the receiver there that was really good from Notre Dame? His dad also played in the CFL. He's a coach. I'm not going to say Davis. Was it Davis? He played for Toronto. I think he still plays for Toronto. There was a big exodus of Stampeder players to Toronto, especially, and also Saskatchewan. And it just seemed like the cupboards were bare for a bit. And I think we're still recovering from the cupboards were bare era for a couple of years.
This was the first year for the Stamps where I felt like they were finally turning a new leaf. Yeah, finally turning a new leaf. But for a couple of years there, it was like, okay, which direction are we going? And it wasn't looking good until we signed Vernon Adams. It wasn't looking great. We got a really great star in a young Philpott, just like his brother in Montreal. But it wasn't looking great. And now it's starting to look more promising. But Huff leaves. Now his stamp is all over the team still. But obviously now that he's gone, I assume that Dave Dickinson's stamp becomes more prominent. So where does that leave the Stamps as he leaves for Toronto? Is this a good thing? I mean, I can't really say or know how much Hufnagel had in the safe for the team, but it definitely feels like I said, like this was the first year where it's like they finally recovered from some pretty bad years. Like, no offense to Jake Meyer, but he was terrible. And after Bo left, they were kind of in no man's land. And I mean, it feels like to me this is similar to like Paul Coffey leaving the Oilers this year. Like he was on the bench, he was the defense coach, he was good while he was there. I mean, maybe clearly they're missing him now, but didn't really added a little bit, but nothing crazy. It's a little interesting because I mean, there's this high correlation that people be like, oh, you know, there's definitely a Hufnagel coaching tree. If you think about all the coaches, you know, in the CFL right now, from Dave Dickinson to Mark Killam to Corey Mace to who am I thinking of? Corey Mace. Who's the other head coach there? That was Dinwiddie in Ottawa. Those are all Hufnagel guys, right? So that's 4 coaches out of 9 that are in the Hufnagel coaching tree. So the coaching tree was very strong. I'm not going to say that the quarterback tree was as strong. I mean, Henry Burris was already here and an established CFL quarterback. I would say that the influence of Dave Dickinson got him over the hump, but Henry really experienced his resurgence in Ottawa, and that was outside of their influence. Drew Tate was sort of a retread from Saskatchewan. He wasn't someone that they brought up. You know, Bo Levi was the one quarterback that they brought up and developed and became, you know, the guy. But you know, when you look at the quarterback tree around the CFL, it didn't come from Calgary. Like you look at Trevor Harris, you look at Zach Caleros, you look at who else is out there? Buddy in Edmonton that replaced your favorite guy, Fajardo. Those guys are all from the Jason Moss, Scott Milanovich school of quarterbacking that started in Toronto. Like, so the quarterback pool in the CFL really is from Toronto, but the coaching pool seems to be from Calgary. So what happens when Hufnagel goes to Toronto? I mean, they got Arbuckle, so he'll be reunited with Arbuckle. They got Chad Kelly. Is he back next year, or what's going on there? Yeah, I think he probably comes back. I wouldn't see any reason for him not to be back.
Yeah, I
don't know if I would roll out Arbuckle again. Like, his story was cool last year, but this year he passed for a lot of yards, but that was about it.
Well, they didn't even make the playoffs.
They missed playoffs.
Grey Cup champs, and you know, Exodus, their head coach and general manager leave. So, and then they hired Mike Miller. Is there, you know, who's their quarterback coach? I don't know where this leaves Toronto. It seems like They didn't get their man, first of all. They wanted Corey
I don't know
Mace.
how they didn't get Mike O'Shea either.
They didn't get O'Shea. They didn't get Corey Mace. Both guys said, no, hell no, I'm staying. So there was a mass exodus of coaches a couple of years ago. I thought maybe they would have got Demetrius Maxey out of Edmonton because he had kind of been familiar with the organization. They went with I guess, in far the coaching circles, a relative unknown. But when you're a quarterback coach, you have a good chance for success in the CFL because it is an offensive quarterback league. But bringing Huffnagel probably brings some sort of stability. I just don't know. They got pinball there. They got a lot of bodies, but I don't know if that translates to teams. When you're a team where you can afford to bring in a lot of like management types, but you don't address what's going on in the field. I don't know what's going to happen.
Kitchen.
Yeah, so we'll see it. I mean, listen, Huff is obviously a legend in the CFL. For me personally, like we didn't have the greatest relationship. I think because I was a Tom Higgins guy, I think I was always going to be a Tom Higgins guy in his eyes. And, I enjoyed playing for a coach that got us ready to win each week. And I can't say anything bad about that because when it came to football, I had many successful years. And you're having more fun at your job when you're winning than anything else. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's not a terrible move on Toronto's part. I just don't know what a senior advisory role does. Maybe it gives him the opportunity to watch film from his home in Jacksonville. And yeah. Well, listen, Trey, we talked a little bit NFL, we talked CFL. We're going on an hour here. Why don't we take a break and then we'll come back and wrap it up? Looks like Rob Evans is going to bed. It's 1:00. Where are you, Rob?
Maybe he's in Ottawa.
Oh, he's in Ottawa. Okay, well, Rob, then we'll wish you a good night. We did an earlier start just for you. Before we go, guys, want to remind you, follow us at Chevy and Nasty. We got Todd Kozaks over here. I'm going to read some of the comments during the break, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap this up in style. Trey, great job, guys. Thanks for listening. And Rubio, you tuned in late. We started early. We mentioned you a lot at the beginning. But anyways, we'll take a break. And we'll catch up with you guys in a couple of minutes.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back to the ride. I was going to change shirts in between, but you know what? I'm still hanging on to Mexico. In fact, actually, I'm headed on Thursday. I'm headed to Arizona with my boys. We're going to go to watch.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm just going on a 4-day trip on the super cheap. I saved the good stuff for me in Mexico, but no, we're going to watch the Rams Cardinals game on Sunday, and I booked the ultra basic WestJet flights. Where you're not even allowed to recline your chairs and you're not allowed to cancel. So when I booked these, they were super cheap. Like we're talking about $150 each way per person, which is pretty good. But like. you're not allowed to cancel. Like, you lose your money if you cancel. So I was really worried. Like, what if something happens? What if we can't go? Like, that's a big risk. But I took it. The time is here, and it looks like we're gonna hopefully knock on wood. We're gonna make it to Arizona. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to an NFL game with my kids. I've been obviously played in NFL games, but I've been to a couple as well as a fan. But I'm really looking forward to bringing my boys, and I think they are too. I heard Arizona is a pretty cool stadium, and thanks to my good buddy Tony Fasano, the coach, for the tickets. I didn't know he had season tickets, but he got some from him, and we're gonna have a good time. So I'm leaving on Thursday. We're coming back on Monday. It'll be a short little trip, and hopefully we get a couple of good guys things going on. Speaking of going on, what's going on with Studs and Duds tonight? Let's tee that up.
Studs and Duds.
Yeah, speaking of guys, the guys are back. Guns N' Roses. Last week I was in Mexico and I saw this announcement. Guns N' Roses World Tour, August 25th, Commonwealth Stadium.
26th.
26 Commonwealth Stadium. This is a big stadium. Like, I went to watch Morgan Wallen there, and he played 2 nights. You're talking about 75,000 people fit in that spot. You know, probably for a concert it's just under 60 because they cut off some of the seats. Now, the reason I asked Studs and Duds, like, first of all, I mean, the last really amazing Guns N' Roses album would have been probably Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 that came out, I believe it was 1992. Before that was Appetite for Destruction, and that's about it. Like, every Guns N' Roses song that came off of 2 albums. You know, Welcome to the Jungle, Midnight Train, like Sweet
November
Child
Rain.
of Mine. November Rain is Use Your Illusion. Like
Civil War. What's that one from? I like Civil War.
Civil War would have been, I think, Use Your Illusion 1 or 2. Like, I don't know which, but everything came off those 2 albums. And that's like, these guys are just a little bit older than me. I thought, you know, when you're a kid and you're listening to Guns N' Roses, you're like, oh, these guys are so old and they're so cool. But, you know, they're probably only about 5 or 6 years older than me. So they're in their 50s, probably 56 to 57 years old. You're talking about Slash. You're talking about Duff. You're talking about, well, maybe they're 60s. I don't know, but they're not that much older than me. But this concert is probably about 30 years too late. Would you say? Like, is this a stud or is this a dud in your opinion?
Yeah, at least 30 years too late, I would say. Let me see. Like, Slash is 60 years old.
60. Axel's probably about 60,
Axel
60.
is 63. So yeah, they're older than you for sure.
Yeah, they're so, you know, they're, I mean, we got some people listening to the show tonight that same age as you guys, and it's like they haven't put out any new stuff in 100 years, anything that's relevant that hit the top. Like, you know, we're not talking about like U2 that's put out albums since the 80s. We're not talking about, I don't know, even Coldplay that, you know, as much as they're not everyone's cup of tea, they put out albums. Look, I mean, Nickelback has put out more hits over the years. I mean, even AC/DC, they've done soundtracks for movies, like, you know, some of the songs. But again, I talked about this with Sheldon, I think last year when I went to watch a Queen tribute band. They were awesome. And I was like, I think I would rather watch a really good tribute band that does like the old stuff but really good versus maybe watching a really washed up version of an old band.
Yeah, I've seen the videos on TikTok and Instagram of, because these guys have done tours in the last couple of years, and it's rough. Axel is rough. Slash still kills it, but he doesn't have to sing. But Axel is rough. And the AC/DC, same thing with them. Like, those guys are fat and old, and they sound like shit.
And that's the thing. And this, like I'm not saying. And again, if I could get my hands on some cheap tickets, I'll probably go. I'm not going to lie, because I'm not an idiot. But like, if I'm just looking at this, Guns N' Roses right now, it's, you know, maybe it's a Grey Eagle casino and resort type of act. Right? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, can these guys pack a stadium? Like, is it just going to be people waiting? Is it just going to be what they're going to?
They will sell it out.
They'll sell out, but because people are hoping that the Guns N' Roses are going to step out of a time machine and sound like it did in 1986. Like, I was in Montreal.
Stupid, Chevy. They aren't going to know this.
I was in Montreal in I believe it was 94, when they were on a world tour with Metallica, and they were Metallica was actually no, Guns N' Roses was opening for Metallica. They were on a world tour, and then no, Metallica went first, and then James Hetfield got burned by the pyrotechnics, so they had to cut their show off. Axl Rose gets on the stage, he sings 2 bars, drops a big FU to the crowd, and leaves. And there was a riot in Montreal. I remember the Olympic Stadium went nuts. People were throwing people through souvenir cases to grab Expos gear and stuff at the Olympic Stadium. But yeah, they caused a riot. And he's been renowned for this. Now, it seems like he's kind of come back around, because a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, Axl actually filled in for Buddy for AC/DC. He had to complete their world tour when Brian, lead singer for Brian Johnson, he had cord surgery or something wrong with his vocal cords, he wasn't allowed to sing anymore. And Axl Rose filled in while he was doing a tour with Guns N' Roses. So who knows? I'll probably go watch it, but I think it's kind of a dud. I'm expecting a bit of a dud. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah,
Stutter dud?
I kind of agree with my dad here. I think the concert would be like, man, okay. I mean, it'd be nice to just sing some Guns N' Roses song. I'm sure the crowd will carry them through it a bit too. But Guns N' Roses are a stud band, legendary. I still listen to their music.
And Patience is my go-to karaoke song, because all you need is just a little patience for your mustache. Trey.
Killed it. Okay, let's move on. So this was actually Sheldon who put this in the chat the other day, actually earlier today.
What do we got?
And it's this guy, I believe in Fraser Valley, and he's a shuttle driver. Let me get rid of that logo there so we can read the
SFU.
article.
So Simon Fraser University shuttle driver.
Yeah, Simon Fraser. So he was driving a bus, and he called a traffic control worker. He pulled over. It was a rainy day in Vancouver, and he pulls over and opens his door and calls this lady unbelievably beautiful, and that she should be a model, and she's very photogenic. And I guess what he says is that she was very flattered and said thank you and whatever, and then he went on about his day. And then the police come looking for him, and he gets some lawsuit against them, saying that she complained and said she was being harassed, and she ended up getting this guy fired, and they went to court for it. But yeah, I mean, he literally was just trying to do something nice, he said, in the courtroom is what he said, and she seemed to take it nicely, and I guess not, and it ended up costing him his job. So what do you think about this? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's kind of weird. Like, I guess because I'm a uniformed employee, right? I mean, I would represent the fire department. I don't think I would be walking around as a firefighter. I know there used to be this kind of like, oh yeah, firefighter, the old macho, but I think it's kind of frowned upon. Like, I don't think anyone would I wouldn't pull a fire truck over and comment on a lady. I think it's just not representing the uniform well, but I think there's a bit more integrity associated with the fire uniform than maybe a shuttle bus driver. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But that being said, I just think it's a little, I mean, I think the behavior of the driver is a little, like, I'm never pulling over and being like, hey, you look so hot. Like, I just don't think that's done anymore. It's kind of weird. Like, you guys talked about dating last week, right? Even just when you're in a situation where that could be acceptable, it's almost weird for people, right? And, I don't know, like, but to lose your job over that, like, maybe get your wrist slapped, get told, hey, listen, man, you can't do that while you're on the job. Maybe you didn't know it violates a code of conduct thing, but I don't think that's a losing your job offense. Now, if he exposed his genitals, if he did something stupid,
that's a big difference.
If he grabbed something as he was driving by, that, you know what, like, you're losing your job. You might lose your license because that's dumb. But to give someone a compliment and then lose your job, I think that's.
You think it would be different if they were just walking, like crossing each other on a sidewalk, and he just says, "Hey, I think you're beautiful," or is it different because he pulled over the bus, opened the door,
like
and
again,
make a comment.
when I look at it as when I look at it as a uniformed person, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be like, oh, you're so beautiful. I just won't do that because it doesn't look professional. But again, that being said, most firefighters know not to do that. I think if a firefighter were to do that and it get reported, he'd probably be reprimanded. There'd probably be union representation. There'd probably be some sort of punishment, but you're not losing your job over that. I don't know in this case. Maybe a Simon Fraser University shuttle driver doesn't have any union rights, so there's no protection for him. I think it's kind of a dick move to accept the compliment and then report the person. But I mean, in the woman's defense, what else is she going to say? Like maybe she was absolutely appalled. Like I know one thing. Like my girlfriend is beautiful, but she's not someone who wants that kind of attention. It makes her very uncomfortable if someone were to say she's good looking or whatever, or comment about her appearance. And I know there's a lot of women like that, not just my girlfriend. It's like they don't want to be defined by their appearance. And so when a comment comes, it's, even though it's well-intentioned, it might make them uncomfortable. And that's the thing. You don't know these days. But again, to lose your job over that, maybe she was okay to complain. I don't think she said, hey, I want this guy. I don't know. Did she say, hey, I want this guy to lose his job? Or is it more that she filed a complaint because she thought it was inappropriate, and then the university was like, nope, you're gone. So I just
seems like it was more like,
you know what?
I mean, she's probably not gonna. It's probably easier for her to go complain about it than it is to her to get in a fight with some random dude on the street saying, could you get the hell out of my face like that?
Yeah. Or say, yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, do your job, leave me alone. Kind of, I don't know. Like, I get it. There could be a level of discomfort where maybe she said something afterwards and they went right away and fired the guy. But yeah, and I don't know if he actually lost his job. It's a headline. Well, hey, Cozy's asking a lot of questions here. So he did lose his job. Okay. I was going to say, you might have to text Sheldon and see how he's doing, because he's probably snoring right now and drooling on the pillow. Okay, let's move to the next one. I wish I had Sheldon's take on this one. So I saw this on Twitter the other day, and it was someone. Can you put up the graphic there? I think it was, if you look at this, and someone put up a picture at a restaurant and said, if you can't tip your server, don't go out to eat. And basically, when you do the math that they want this person to leave a tip, they're asking for a $40 tip. Are you kidding me? $40 tip, half the meal, almost 40% tip. We're looking at 45% tip. First of all, would you ever leave that, even if it's the greatest service in the world?
Hell no. 40%. You know what they do in Japan? If you tip them, they give you your money back and they're offended. Like, what a complete difference in culture between us and even Europe. Like, if you give 5 or 10%, it might be okay, but 40? Are you kidding me? Like that's half your meal.
And you know what? Like, whoever writes this, first of all, they're definitely not a good business person, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to put your own people out of business, because you know what happens? People won't go out to eat. People don't go out to eat anymore anyways. With the gig economy, with Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, and all that crap, you're lucky that you get people to go out these days. I see what's going on in the restaurants. People like convenience. And you know what's more convenient than going out and getting harassed for a tip on crappy service? Is to sit at your house and eat it at home.
And then delivered to your door.
Even when Uber is delivering, do you ever leave the recommended tip when Uber is leaving the 15% or whatever? If you
I'll give 15 at the most, but that's it.
At the most, I'll give 15, but I'm going to give that 15 after it shows up and everything's there. I'm not doing it before the fact. I'm putting $5, and if everything shows up, then they get more. And if everything doesn't show up, then they're not getting that, because you know what? They just drive. Like, it's a service. They get paid, plus they get tips. But anyways, maybe I'm a cheap tipper. Like, I tip the when tipping was 15% and it matched the GST, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I know servers were not making minimum wage, which here in Alberta is $15. I was like, yeah, you know what? It makes sense to tip them a little bit more. But now they make $15 an hour, And I'm not saying they don't work hard, but the service industry, at least in Alberta, is nowhere near what it is when you go to somewhere like Montreal. It's a complete, like here you got kids that don't, like, you know what? I'm not going to insult all restaurant workers, because actually my son Luke works at Boston Pizza, and every week I get a text from someone saying how well he's doing and how awesome he is and stuff. So, and he gets tipped accordingly. He gets tipped well. Sometimes people tip him a lot because he's good at what he does. And if you're good at what you do, you don't have to ask for it. That's the thing. You don't have to put a stupid sign like this to give a tip. I understand when there's a large group that rolls in and there's an automatic, whatever it is, 18% gratuity for, because it takes a lot to get all the meals there at the same time and blah, 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 and clean up and keep things flowing. But when two people are going for a meal, you best believe that I'm going to be looking out for what you're doing to make my meal special if I'm sitting there and have to tip you. And if it's not, I'm not going to hit that minimum 18%. I'm going to put in a custom tip, and it's going to probably look like 15. And if it was shitty service, like absolutely crappy, I'm going to put less than. I'm not going to give the mandatory tip because you feel you deserve it because we live in the entitled age. But 40%, you're out of your mind. The only time I'm giving a bigger tip than what the bill is if I went somewhere and I got a discount and I know what the original value of the meal was, I'll tip on the original value of the meal. Like I won't tip on the discounted because I'm not that crappy, because the meal is worth what it's worth. So the tip is based on the meal's value, even though I might be paying less. That's the only time I'll tip above and not the only time. I'm saying, for great service and whatever, I'll tip above and beyond, is to make sure that I'm tipping the value of what the meal would be. But yeah, I don't know. What are some of the comments saying? If you expect to get a tip without deserving it, go get another job. Yeah, absolutely.
Your son's getting some flack.
Oh, Sebastian, Luke's buddy, Sebastian's. Hey, Sebastian, welcome to the ride. It's been a long time. Yeah, Luke. Well, Luke would put ketchup on your cake because he's
on his cake or in his Coke. In his Coke.
Oh, in his Coke. Yeah, he would do that. Well, I can't say he's done that. He's done that to me. Aren't you guys playing video games right now? I can hear you guys on the headsets. Okay, last one. What's the last Sutter versus Dead?
You put this in the chat, but I did take a look at it before we.
Oh yeah, you're a film guy.
So I am a pretty big.
Quentin Tarantino released. I guess that's what it was. Quentin Tarantino released his top 10 films of the 21st century, and for those of you that don't know, or Quentin Tarantino hasn't really made a new movie in the last little while, but I mean, probably one of the greatest directors considered in the last 20 years, since the 90s, when he made Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. So considered one of the greatest of all times. I think he's got one more movie to make, and he put out his top 10 list. Have you seen any of these movies, first of all? And how do they stack up for you?
Yeah, I've seen Black Hawk Down, great movie.
Yep.
Toy Story 3, that's a great movie. Dunkirk, also a great movie. I've seen Mad Max, Midnight in Paris, I've seen too. So half of them, I guess. I haven't seen Lost in Translation. Never even heard of it. Must be good if it's number 3.
Yeah. There Will Be Blood. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, fantastic movie.
I'm surprised he didn't put any of his own movies in here.
Well, I don't think he would vote for any of his own movies. He would be like me taking a selfie in Mexico. It's like, it's kind of
yeah, well, he's Quentin Tarantino. He does some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah, but well, looking at this list here, I've seen a lot of these movies. It's kind of surprising that these are the movies that he gravitates towards, because, I mean,
so it's a wide variety.
It definitely. I mean, Toy Story sits in there, and I'm like, I remember watching Toy Story 3. I just can't remember it being that much better than the original one. And I think that's the one with.
Well, the original one would be from the 90s, so.
Yeah, but I guess 21st. Yeah, but Duke Kaboom, is that the one where Keanu Reeves is the Canadian stuntman guy? Because that one was good. I think that was Toy Story 3 that had Duke Kaboom. Someone's got to confirm that for me. But yeah, as his number 2 movie, hey, okay, I might have to watch it again. But There Will Be Blood is fantastic. It's kind of a really dark period piece about I guess the oil and gas industry. It's actually pretty good. But Daniel Day-Lewis was fantastic in that one. The other one up there, Mad Max Fury Road, was probably one of the best opening scenes of a movie that I've seen in recent times. And I would definitely agree with that. When Black Hawk Down is amazing. But yeah, I was thinking about this list, and I don't know, like, there's a couple of movies, like, when I think of some great movies that were like also pretty intense, a couple of Christopher Nolan ones would be there for me. Like Interstellar.
I was just about to say, I would put Interstellar on here. I would put probably Oppenheimer was good. I don't know.
Yeah, Oppenheimer was good. I don't know if it would be in a top 10.
Dunkirk in there, which is a Christopher Nolan one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Dunkirk. And what was the other Christopher Nolan one? Inception. That was a pretty mind-bending movie. That was definitely a mind-bending movie. Okay, let's flip it up. You take your top, let's say top 4 Quentin Tarantino movies, because I've seen more Tarantino movies than I've seen of this list. For me.
Go ahead.
For me, number one, I gotta say, number one has to be Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs, it's a movie that I could watch over and over again. I loved Pulp Fiction, and I would say for the top. So yeah, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction would be number 2 for me. I really enjoyed the Kill Bill series. Like, I want to watch those with my kids, even though they're long as hell. And then I think rounding out the top, I think it's got to be Inglourious Bastards. That was such another fantastic opening scene. Like, just the opening scene in Quentin Tarantino movies, especially Inglourious Bastards. Those, like, for me, those are the top movies. Like, I want to go watch them right now. I don't want to go to bed. I want to watch a Tarantino movie because of this.
I would say my 4 would probably be Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Bastards, and I would also say Django Unchained.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Slavery movie with Jamie Foxx and Leo DiCaprio.
And I believe was Sam Jackson in that one as well. Yes, he was. He was. He was the guy with the messed up eyeball. I would like to, and I think that they said that he has 1 or 2 more movies in him, right? I think that he's got 2 more. He was supposed to do a Star Trek movie. He's going to do a Star Trek.
He's got 1 more. Only What We Carry is what it's called.
What's it called?
Only What We Carry, I believe, is what it's called.
Is that coming out soon, or?
Oh, sorry. No, that was a documentary. The Adventures of Cliff Booth is what it's called.
Oh, interesting. I knew he was slated to do a Star Trek movie, but then that fell apart. I would love to see his take on a superhero movie, because that's a genre that emerged, kind of once he kind of became popular, but he doesn't like the superhero genre. He thinks it's terrible, from what I remember him saying. But I would love to see his take on a superhero movie.
I think, guys, this is it's a sequel of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie.
Oh, that was a great movie too.
Which was his most recent one.
Was that his as well?
Yeah,
I like that movie. I like that movie. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I don't know if it's. Well, I think I like Jackie Brown better than that. But that was a good movie, because I like Brad Pitt movies. All Brad Pitt movies are good. But yeah, no, he's really good, and he really kind of opened up. You know what? There's a great movie that came out around the time where he was getting hot, and it was kind of produced. I don't know if he wrote this movie or was kind of in his stable of directors that worked with him. But if you ever want to check out a really good movie, it's called Killing Zoe. I don't know if it stands up over time like the other ones, I think, but if you look up the movie Killing Zoe, it was a great heist type movie along the Quentin Tarantino esque style, but I don't think he was involved in it. But yeah, a lot of good movies, and this list makes I really want to watch Toy Story 3. Of all the movies that's on this list,
I think there's a 4th one or 5th one coming out like next summer too. So you should probably watch that.
All these movies make sense to me, like Midnight in Paris, Shaun of the Dead. That's a good one. That's more of a comedy. Like, they all kind of have a similar, like, serious tone. And then like even Unstoppable was a great movie. It was with Chris Pine and I believe it was Samuel L. Jackson with the runaway train. and the guys, and it's going into Philadelphia. It was a great movie. It was like a really good movie, and but they all have a similar. And then Toy Story 3 sitting there is like, what is it about Toy Story 3 that caught his eye? And that's what I want. I want to watch that movie. Like I really want to. I want to watch it, Trey. I want to watch it, but you guys, I don't know who stayed around because we managed to still run this thing for about an hour and a half. So it's 11:30, but we started it a half an hour early. Trey, great job tonight. Not only were you a great co-host, you took my jokes and my barbs and you rolled with it. Because I made fun of you. We made fun of Sheldon. You guys made fun of me. Cozy made fun of all of us, especially me. But you know what? I'm gonna leave you guys with a couple of thoughts. One, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna try this new time slot. It could be a bumpy ride once in a while. Trey might have to step in. I may be running in from hockey practice. We're going to do that. 2, we hope that Sheldon feels better and that by tomorrow it clears up. 3, we're glad that you all joined us. And remember, you can join us each week here on The Ride at Chevy and Nasty and all the socials and all that. And 4, I'm just going to say this. Guys, 3 weeks ago, Trey, Sheldon, Cozy, I was right. The Oilers suck. So with that,
have a good night, everyone.
We'll talk about it next week. See you next week, guys.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see,